Great to talk to you about this film. I mean, what a magical experience. But you're no stranger to them. But how important was it for you to be the director of Mary Poppins Returns?
Well, I will say I was glad they chose me because even though it was a daunting project to take on, I was really excited because the first film means so much to me, and I really wanted to be the shepherd of protecting that spirit of that first film, but ushering it into this new film. And so, as challenging as it was, and it was incredibly challenging, I was thrilled to take it on.
Would you say it was much more challenging than all the musicals you've directed before?
Yes, no question. This is the hardest film I've ever worked on because of the lineage, but also because it's an original musical. You know, the movies I'd worked on that were musicals I'd taken from stage. This is a whole different experience. You know, it took much more time, I think over 3 years to put it all together. But it was really a labor of love because I love the character, I love the books, I love the feeling of the musical. You know, this is really an homage to the event musicals of my past, you know, that I grew up with, like Sound of Music or My Fair Lady and Oliver, you know, these wonderful musicals that mean so much to me. And so to be able to do this, you know, on this scale was just thrilling.
And the musicals you've just described, including Mary Poppins, are so famous. They're so embedded in people's imagination.
Yes, yes.
And everything. Do you remember what, you know, it meant to you the first time you watched them and why they're so important?
Well, I think, you know, for me, seeing them as a child, it just fills you with a sense of wonder and magic and cinema and music and all of that. I mean, there's nothing like a great musical that can lift you that way. It's really special. And that's why I always return to them. You know, I watch them over and over again because of that. And I think people will hopefully feel that in this film. You know, you walk out with a sense of, I don't know, of buoyancy, of joy. And I think we need that today.
Absolutely. Of escapism, I would say.
Yes, I think we need it so much. Yes, I agree.
I think what you've achieved beautifully is to stay true to the spirit of the first one,
yes,
but have your own imprint on this one. How important was that for you, that it works on both levels?
It's exactly was my intention. You know, it was a real balancing act because, you know, I used myself in a way as a barometer. I really thought, well, what would I want to see in a sequel to Mary Poppins? I would want to see you know, a live-action animation sequence, as an example, or a big production number, you know, with men dancing and so forth. You know, there were things that I felt were very important to retain, but at the same time, I wanted it to be a completely original story, a completely original score. So it was a balancing act the whole time.
Always.
Yes.
We've all known that Emily Blunt is a lovely girl and be a great actress, but little did we know that she sang so beautifully and danced so well and is so multitasking.
Yeah,
so.
she's. I mean, you know, I had worked with her on Into the Woods, and I had a real inkling of what she would be able to bring to this. But she's just so extraordinary. I mean, she has so much talent, and she can really do anything. And I'm so happy for her now because people are seeing her at, you know, doing this role, making it her own in such a special way.
Yes, she is at the forefront, and
yes,
as you
this
said,
is her moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And she did sing in Into the Woods, but this is the role that showcases all her talents.
Exactly, I agree. This is her movie, and you know, I get her. I mean, what's nice about Emily? I mean, I love her personally, but I also love working with her professionally, and we get each other. You know, I see what she brings, and it's a wonderful working relationship.
Absolutely. It shows.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, thank you.
Tell us about the process of the original songs, and was it difficult to come up with original material, especially that the first movie has such, like, you know, songs that people love so much and remember so well?
Yes, exactly. Well, I think the only way to do that is really start with the story. And I went directly to the books and found that they were written in the 30s. And in the Depression era in London. And I thought, well, that felt like the right time to set our film in because it feels in a way more current, in a way, more of a parallel to our times. And then I realized that the first film had been written, I mean, and filmed in 1910. It was, I mean, took place in 1910. So that was 25 years later. And so then I realized, well, it could be about Michael and Jane as adults. And that helped me, you know, that if you start with an original story, a whole new story, then the songs grow out of that, you know. And so, and then you're not really thinking about a comparison with the first film in that way. You're just actually trying to make the songs complete the story and make it all work as one simple narrative, you know.